Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Thursday, August 29th, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to jump right to this image here and just mention that while we did close below the speed line at 207.27 on Wednesday, it was by a hair, like a dime. Too close to call. So if we open below 207.27 today, we can fall to 191.76. That is the low settlement price that has been placed following the July high. We do have meaningful levels on the way down: 203.87, 99.66, and 93.61. So I'm not quite sure we'll get to 191.76, but it's certainly possible if we open below 207.27. But we could also open at or above 207.27. There would be no sell signal then for the day, and we could, well, what I really want to show you is this descending channel top at 215.14. So these are your day trade levels. If we open at or above 217.27, 215.14 in reach, where we can place a daily high. Now, if we push through 215.14, 223.27, the high settlement price following that August low is in reach, but I no longer have that weighted significantly. I mean, yes, if we close above 223.27, that is considered a buy signal, but we would already have, I think, a more meaningful buy signal if we close above 215.14. This descending flag at the top of a near-term move, then likely to yield bullish continuation through next week. If we were to close above the 215.14 formation, I would expect this could be 3 to 5 days. It could take the better part of a week. Like the better part of 2 weeks. It's hard to say, of course. We could close above 215.14, top out at 23.27 for a day, fall back to 15.14. But I will say that if we close above 215.14, this is especially true following the testing of speed line support at 207.27, then you should allow, with a settlement above 215.14, within 1 to 2 weeks, this 236.70 rising channel top, where we could top out on a weekly basis. And, I do have 46.75 weighted equally to 36.70, but I will say, I'm looking at this chart right now, that if over the next couple of weeks we close above 236.70, I think that is our sign of longer-term bullish continuation into October trade. So we will re-weight these as we see fit over the next week or two. So that is kind of the upside. Once again, downside, breaking or opening below 207.27, you should allow 191.76 intraday. Once again, we've got minor points on the way down for aggressive day traders where we could bottom out at each of these subsequent levels, but 191.76 wouldn't surprise me on an intraday basis if we open below 207.27. And if we close today below 207.27, that would be a meaningful sell signal as we move through September trade. The following 3 to 5 weeks then likely to test 154.50. So we also have 182 even that'll probably be weighted as a session containment level on the way down. And we've got 167.41, which is this double bottom. I mean, we've got meaningful levels all the way down for day trading and 3 to 5 day swing trading. But if you're looking at the big picture, as I've been saying, following a settlement below 207.27, and yes, we closed below the speed line on Wednesday, but by a dime. And so it really was essentially at speed line support. And if we close, let's just say lower on the day. Yesterday we closed in the 205.75 region. If we close lower today, that would clearly be below this rising 3-week speed line, which should set off a sell signal, that should yield 154.50, that descending channel bottom over the following 3 to 5 weeks. As I've been mentioning, this descending channel bottom does drop into the 120s over the next 3 to 5 weeks, which is significant support on the weekly chart at 128.82. So I think there's another way of saying really that if we close below 207.27 today, not only below 207.27, but lower on the day. I mean, I don't want to see another settlement a dime below this speed line. In other words, 207.16 or 207.17. That would be more of the same. Really what I want to see is a lower settlement on the day, certainly below 207.27 by a wider margin that would then set up essentially the 120s as a 1 to 2 month target. And I will call it a 1 to 2 month target. We've got it 3 to 5 weeks right now, but keep in mind that this is dropping at a pretty good pace, and it certainly could take into October before we would actually reach the 120s, but not unless we close lower on the day to day. Until then, this is still, believe it or not, bottom picking opportunity. And if we close above the 207.27 speed line, we remain in a bottom picking mode through next week and into September. And certainly if we close above 215.14, we have a 1 to 2 week buy signal up to channel resistance, near-term channel resistance that we presently find at 236.70 and climbing. So if we close above 215.14, 1 to 2 week buy signal at 236.70 and climbing. I will also say, and this is probably the last thing I will say, that if you're bottom picking 207.27 right now, you can anticipate a 2 to 3 week rally up to the 236.70 climbing channel top. So over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we can make our way up into what is now the mid 230s, but soon to be mid 240s over the next week and a half, 2 weeks. So bottom picking 207.27, expect the mid 230s and climbing, closing below 207.27, and we have ourselves a sell signal as we continue into October trade. And when I say below 207.27, once again, lower settlement on the day should do the trick to the downside. And you don't want to be long Tesla if your time frame is the next month or two, if we close lower today below that 207.27 speed line. I think I've said it all. Please click like, share, subscribe, check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow with Friday's Tesla report, and you have a great evening.